Good day. Hey, wanted to share with you here this afternoon some ideas I've been focusing on, working to develop around this idea of my own personal life priorities. As I move through life and I continue to develop clarity around like what's most important to me, asking myself the questions of, if I were to focus on like one thing, what's the most important thing I should prioritize or I should focus? And for me, as I continue to work on this and develop these ideas, it's becoming more clear to me that the most important thing, the most beneficial thing for me to focus on a daily basis is my own sense of joy, of peace, and of well-being. And I find that there are two primary reasons for this. Number one, because I believe that we can, if we choose, live a life that feels great. I believe that we have the option, the ability to live a life that feels really good to us, that is a joy to live, really fully enjoy this ride. And if I'm not fully focused on making my own well-being, my own sense of joy, my own sense of peace, a priority on a daily basis, then life begins to happen to me. I become more of a victim in my own life. I begin to give my energy and my resources to things which don't serve me and don't ultimately contribute to my level of satisfaction on this life journey. So number one reason, because it's simply my option to. It's simply my ability to. It is our ability. It's your ability to live a pleasurable life, a life that feels good. I mean, like, what's the point, To live a life that pleases us and invigorates us and inspires us. And I find that these things are much easier to do, much easier to accomplish when we are living fully. Joy, peace, well-being. And number two, because I feel once we've accomplished this, or as we accomplish this feeling of joy, this vigor that we can establish for our lives, it can then become our duty to contribute, to give. We can be of much greater service to others when we're at 100%. If we're at only 50%, we're only operating at 50, 60% in terms of what we're capable of, and in terms of where we want to be, then how can we fully give to those in our lives? How can we fully give 100% to those around us? How can we fully give to our family if we're only operating at a fraction of where we want to be and where we could be? So the second piece of this, the second compelling reason for me is because of our level of contribution. We can give so much more when we're filling up, serving, and when we're living fully, and our tanks are full. It comes back to this analogy, which I love and which I've used so many times, but it's like, if the plane is going down, we need to put our own oxygen masks on first, right? Because we can't help our neighbor when we're suffocating ourselves. So number one, because it's our option to live fully. Number two, because we can give more fully whenever we're living more fully. How much more of a inspiring example to others can we be whenever we're living our lives fully and living our lives excited and inspired and joyful and peaceful? How much more powerful of an example is that? So this is a question I think that we can learn to use to frame up our life decisions and our life choices. Does this decision add to my level of joy, of peace, of contribution? Does this of well-being? Does this relationship add or detract from my level of joy, of peace, of contribution? So every choice, everything that we choose to incorporate into our life, every decision, every relationship, either adds to or detracts from our level of joy, of peace, of well-being. So that means we maybe have to become a little bit more selfish with our time. Maybe do a better job at prioritizing our time. Maybe it means we get up a little bit early or stay up a little bit late. Maybe it means we put the phone down more. Maybe it means we turn the TV off. Maybe it means we have to lovingly invite some of those relationships that don't serve us to move on. Maybe it even means being a little bit more selfish with those relationships that are in our lives, those relationships that are so important to us. Maybe it means spending 2 high-quality hours with our family and friends and loved ones versus spending 4 hours where we're just operating on autopilot at a very base level, low vibration, you know? So maybe it means getting a little bit more selfish with our time and being a little bit more conscious about how we utilize our time, and maybe where we can find pockets of time to invest in ourselves in a more loving and contributive way. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you find that this is an important priority for you, living with this sense of joy, of peace, of well-being? And how are you able to incorporate these ideas into your own life? Do you find this is valuable? And what are your thoughts on this? Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to check in on this video. If you're finding this video on YouTube, I invite you to come on over to the Inspired Light YouTube page, which I've just started up. I would love for your feedback and contribution over there. And if you are finding this video on YouTube, I'd very much appreciate for you to click the like button, share this video with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. And I promise to continue to provide as much value as possible as I continue to uncover things in my own life that are valuable and helpful and meaningful. Thanks so much. Have a beautiful day, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Bye-bye.